When B-2 struck Iran's missile caves at 3 a.m., this 30-second delay saved them. The target was buried deep within the Zagros Mountains, a fortified missile city carved into solid rock, designed to withstand everything except a nuclear weapon. At 2:47 a.m. on February 28, 2026, 4 B-2 Spirit stealth bombers from the Petro 41 flight approached Iranian airspace after a grueling 34-hour round-trip mission from Whiteman Air Force Base, Missouri. What happened in the next 60 seconds would test the limits of precision warfare and prove that in modern combat, 30 seconds can mean the difference between annihilation and escape. These were not ordinary bombers. Each B-2, costing over $2 billion, carried 16 2,000-pound GBU-31 dams, precision-guided bunker busters capable of penetrating over 200 feet of reinforced concrete. Their objective: a network of underground ballistic missile storage facilities near the city of Kermanshah, where intelligence indicated Iran had concealed dozens of liquid-fueled missiles aimed at U.S. bases in the Gulf. The operation, codenamed Epic Fury, aimed to decapitate Iran's missile capabilities in a single, overwhelming blow. Little did the mission planners know, inside those caves, a routine shift change was about to unfold. At the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps Aerospace headquarters, buried adjacent to the missile storage complex, night watch officers were preparing for the 3 a.m. rotation. For 30 precious seconds, the underground facility would be in a state of flux, personnel moving between hardened blast doors, communications momentarily disrupted, and most critically, the massive outer blast shields protecting the missile launch bays slowly grinding open to allow the relief convoy to pass. At 2:51 a.m., 9 minutes from weapons release, the B-2s descended to their attack altitude, their flying wing design absorbing radar waves like black holes in the night sky. Iranian air defense operators, those still alive after the initial F-35 and F-22 suppression strikes, saw nothing on their screens. The bombers' weapons bays opened silently over the Zagros foothills. Each JDAM received final targeting coordinates from satellites and ground-penetrating radar mapping provided by special operations teams inserted days earlier. 3,000 feet below, inside the command bunker, Colonel Reza Karimi of the IRGC Aerospace Force initialed the shift change log. It was 2:58 a.m. His replacement was already in the tunnel connecting the living quarters to the operations center. The massive 40-ton blast door, hydraulically operated, began its slow ascent. For the first time in 12 hours, the inner chamber was exposed to the outer tunnel system leading directly to the surface. The timing could not have been worse. At 3 a.m. precisely, the first JDAM entered the mountain. Traveling at supersonic speed, it punched through 60 feet of overburden before detonating inside the main missile assembly hall. A split second later, 15 more bombs followed the same path, their delayed fuses programmed to penetrate deeper before exploding. The mountain shuddered. Inside the command bunker, the blast wave ripped through the partially open doorway, incinerating the relief shift and collapsing the operations center ceiling. But in the missile storage complex, separated from the command area by a secondary blast barrier, survival instincts took over. Lieutenant Commander Hassan Tehrani, a 30-year veteran of the missile program, had just stepped through the inner airlock when the first explosion rocked the facility. His 30-second head start, the time it took for the outer door to cycle, placed him inside the most heavily reinforced section of the complex. The secondary barrier, designed to withstand a direct hit, slammed shut automatically as the shockwave approached. Tehrani and 12 technicians were now sealed inside the deepest chamber, with the primary ventilation system still intact. On the surface, the B-2s completed their bomb runs and turned west, their work apparently finished. But deep underground, Tehrani activated the emergency generator and initiated a desperate protocol. Using a secondary communications array buried even deeper than the main facility, he transmitted a single coded message to IRGC headquarters: Missile City breached. Command lost. Preserving assets in Sector 7. Request retaliation authorization. That 30-second delay, the gap between the door opening and the bomb striking, had allowed Tehrani to reach the one section of the complex the Americans had not fully mapped. Sector 7 contained 3 mobile launchers and 6 missiles, positioned on underground rails designed to emerge from hidden mountain fissures. Within 20 minutes of the strike, while rescue teams dug through the rubble above, Tehrani's crew prepared to fire. At 4:17 a.m., the first of those missiles launched from a concealed crevice 2 kilometers from the destroyed main entrance. It struck a coalition logistics base in Kuwait, killing 3 U. service members. In total, Iran managed to launch over 270 ballistic missiles and drones in retaliation, despite the devastating precision of the B-2 strike. The missile city was destroyed, over 50% of Iran's launcher capacity, eliminated in the first 48 hours of Operation Epic Fury. But the human element, the 30 seconds of routine procedure that saved a hardened commander, ensured the war was far from over. Today, the Zagros mountain complex lies in ruins, its entrance is sealed by 30,000 pounds of precision-guided steel. Lieutenant Commander Tehrani remains at large, his last known location somewhere in the network of tunnels that still riddle the Iranian highlands. The B-2s returned safely to the United States, diverting to Whiteman Air Force Base in Texas due to weather. But the lesson of February 28 endures. In the age of stealth and precision, the most unpredictable variable remains the 30 seconds of human routine that no satellite can track. This was just one of countless untold stories from the modern era of conflict. Subscribe to World War II Records as we continue to bring these forgotten chapters of military history back to life.